Stocks trade in a narrow range with advances and declines almost evenly balanced ahead of the weekend. The metal stocks gain while energy stocks are the big drags. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board, the PNGRB, has approved an upward revision in its tariff by 12% against the 20% expected. The next tariff review is expected only in FY28. The stock of GAIL slips on the disappointment. Online retailer Meesho announces its 5,400 crore rupee IPO, eyeing a valuation of nearly 50,000 crore rupees. The e-commerce leader expects higher ad revenues to drive up cash flows as it expands, even as it rules out charging users a commission. Silver scales to its all-time high of $54.50 an ounce as high industrial demand and strong investment interest points to a significant deficit. Hopes of a rate cut by the US Federal Reserve further aid sentiment. And US President Donald Trump posts that he is halting migration from third world countries. He argues that immigration policies have weakened America and it needs time to fully recover. Good afternoon, you're with us here on Business Lunch. We are coming to you live from the CNBC TV18 Motilal Oswal studios. I am Hormuz Fatakia. The market's currently in snooze mode, trading in very narrow range. The big news, of course, is from IEX. We continue to track that, hearing from the Electricity Appellate Tribunal. But for now, the index has briefly slipped into the red. Before that, it was trading in a very narrow range as we speak. The range for today is only 110 points. 26,172 is the intraday low, and 26,280 being the intraday high for the index. The Nifty Bank made an intraday record, made yet another dash towards the mark of 60,000, but that too has cooled off ever so slightly from the highs of the day. 59,900 was the intraday high, so about 120 points off the highs is where the Nifty Bank currently stands. But the broader markets have continued to be the focal point of the entire week, be it the market breadth, be it the advanced decline, as the mid-cap index currently in the red has come off the highs of the day. The advanced decline now in favor of the declines, and that gap which was starting to get wider is again starting to converge just ever so slightly. But for now, there are more stocks that are declining compared to those that are advancing. Just pull up Yatharth Hospitals before we go on to GAIL, and that stock has slumped to the lowest point of the day, 8% lower now on Yatharth Hospitals. A block deal took place just a few minutes earlier, and as a result of which the stock has seen this big slide. But the talking point of the morning though was GAIL, and the stock continues to remain lower, and that is after the PNGRB approved revisions order for the company's transmission tariffs. Sonal is here to break all of this down for us and what brokerages are making of it. Sonal.
Thank you for that. Well, yes, the transmission tariffs have been announced, and it's lower than what the street was working with. Remember, GAIL had asked for a 33% tariff hike. The street was expecting that maybe not 33%, it would be a 20% hike, but there's just a 12% hike that has come by, and that is something which is disappointing the street as well. Now, remember, the PNGRB told CNBC TV18 that this is just an interim relief that has come by. There will be another set of tariff hikes which will happen in 2028. And that is when they will see higher levels as well, because right now they've not considered a lot of factors, something like the actual and future operating expenditure and capex that is taken up by these transmission companies. But yes, this is a disappointment which the street was not factoring in. Brokerages, they also do not have a lot of positive view on this particular incident. For instance, UBS says that tariff hike is disappointed. They do have a buy rating, but they are disappointed with the result that has come by, because they think realized tariffs could even be lower than 12% after considering and adjusting for other metrics as well when it comes to the PNL. They, however, like the fact that there could be another hike that would come by in 2028, and the fact that PNGRB wants to smoothen the process, not hike tariffs at one go, which could impact customers. This will be the key to watch out for. Citi has a buy rating as well. They believe 12% is lower than the 15% mark that they had anticipated, and this should also set into motion implementation of the new unified tariff regime, which will also be beneficial for IGL. That stock too is higher in trade today. Jefferies says this is largely in line with what they were expecting, and hence they're going ahead with EBITDA revision on the upside by 7% for the next two fiscals, and they have a target price of 230 rupees on the share.
Interesting, Sonal. Thank you for that. A slight recovery from the lows of the day for GAIL, 4.5% lower currently. In fact, we spoke to PNGRB earlier today, and they told us that this is just an interim relief and that tariffs will be revised again in FY28. Listen in.
We have concluded the tariff interim in between the 5 years also. So next hike will be from 1st April 2028. So where we'll do up everything. It is clearly mentioned in the tariff order that next revision will be effective from 1st April 2028, wherein we'll all do up all the factors, capex, opex, pay, relief, everything we will give.
It will increase by 1,200 crore rupees per annum based on existing volume. And next year we are also expecting at least 8 to 10% volume hike. So therefore it will be around 1,300 to 1,350 crore rupees per annum. Normally, whenever PNGRB processes the tariff, they moderate certain future capital expenditure and operating expenditure and do up in next revision. So we were expecting the tariff based on those revisions should be 70-72 rupees, but it has come down to 65 rupees, 69 rupees. There is a gap from our expectations of around 5-6 rupees. And since we are yet to go through the tariff order, we'll see what are those parameters based on which tariff has been moderated, and certainly if we feel that there are issues, we'll certainly take up suitably. We do not have any choice in terms of regulation. We have to apply the tariff approved by PNGRB on non-discriminatory basis to every customer.
That was GAIL, the top talking point of the morning before, of course, IEX takes over that mandate. The hearing continuing at the APTEL, still waiting for observations to come by. The stock, though, currently witnessing some very, very choppy moves, had seen a spike towards the highs of the day. That recovery has been sold into, currently trading at the flat line there for IEX, still awaiting observations from APTEL. But moving on to some key reactions from HAL's chairman and managing director following the Tejas air crash in Dubai. DK Suresh defended the Tejas and said that the order book for the aircraft remains strong. Listen into what he had to say.
At the outset, let me tell you that there's absolutely no problem with the Tejas. Let me declare it from this forum. There is no problem with the Tejas. It's a wonderful aircraft, and it is absolutely safe, and its safety record is the best in the world. We've had a couple of them, and what you saw in Dubai was an unfortunate incident. I think as countries evolve and develop their own technologies, they go through phases. And today we've made this 4.5 generation aircraft with the latest capability. It's a resounding success, and we should all be proud of it. So I think there will always be naysayers who are talking about this and raising questions, but it will not deter us. We have an order for 180, and I'm sure it will go up, and we will definitely even have an export market for this. So I think this comes up every time there is some indigenous product, and there are bound to be some failures or problems. I would not say conspiracy. It's perhaps social media is quite prevalent today, and everybody has an opinion. And I would also go so far as say that everybody considers himself an expert also. So I suppose that's part of the world today.
Meanwhile, the Defence Secretary spoke on the problem of delivery delays by the Tejas and other manufacturers. Listening to what he had to say.
Delays are not only by domestic manufacturers. You've seen the S-400s getting delayed because of the conflicts. Israel orders, also many of them are delayed because of the conflicts that they are facing. There are supply chain issues which have affected them in the context of the General Electric engines that they've been having to wait for. So yes, all of it is not solely attributable to our indigenous manufacturers, but yes, I mean, there is a tendency to overpromise and underdeliver, and we will need to start cracking down much more, apply LD clauses much more, and in the current round of emergency purchases that we are doing, we've actually taken a very tough stand that any case where delivery is not done within 1 year will all be foreclosed. And I intend to sort of ensure that that is done. So irrespective of who it is, which company, which country, we will foreclose every contract after 1 year. Hopefully those kind of decisions will start bringing in some level of accountability when it comes to delivery milestones.
So observations now coming in from Aptel with regards to the market coupling case for IEX, and they have observed that they are concerned about the allegations made across the bar and they wish to inquire further. And since these allegations, if found to be true, would cast a cloud on the manner in which the independent regulator functions. Remember all of this now at the Electricity Appellate Tribunal. The counsel for IEX has cited the insider trading report from SEBI, which mentioned that it is because of that that the stock had crashed to 29% in a single trading session. That was on the 24th of July of this year. And the Aptel has further observed that they are not expressing any opinion in this regard, and they wish to emphasize the need for them to undertake an early hearing of the matter before the regulations are notified. Remember, these market coupling notifications were supposed to be taking effect from January of 2026. So they would want to seek an early hearing with regards to this, is what the Aptel has observed. And they are also saying that they are open to look into any case of corruption, and the regulator must avoid the appearance of wrongdoing. That's the observations expressed by the Electricity Appellate Tribunal in its hearing on the market coupling case. And as of now, so there has been no concrete observation yet. The hearing will now take place in the first week of January, is what we're getting to know. And so no significant reaction as of now on the stock. We'll get back to this in just a bit, but this is what the Aptel observations are, that they are concerned with regards to the allegations that have been leveled and they would want to inquire further. And for now they are not expressing any opinion, but they are emphasizing the need of an early hearing before these regulations are officially notified. While moving on, then getting you some updates from the auto sector, sources are telling us that the OEMs have written to the Ministry of Heavy Industries on the soon to be implemented CAFE 3 norms. Parikshit is here to tell us more on this. Parikshit.
Well, this seems to be becoming a big problem for the automotive industry, and frankly, they are divided. Multiple OEMs have written to the Minister for Heavy Industries, H.D. Kumaraswamy, saying that the proposed CAFE 3 norms will create a new subcategory for small vehicles, and all this will benefit only one OEM, that is Maruti Suzuki. They've said that this creation of subcategory within the CAFE 3 norms, or the corporate average fuel efficiency norms, based on weight, will have an adverse impact on the nation's progress towards safer and cleaner cars. This at a time when the industry has made a lot of investments towards electric vehicles. The industry has said, and these are 5 or 6 of the top OEMs in the country, they have said to the minister that no relaxation in emission norms should be extended to cars up to 909 kgs, engine capacity up to 1200 cc, and length not extending 4000 millimeters. The reason being, Maruti Suzuki has a 95% share in cars up to 909 kgs. The industry has also gone on to say that if you want to grant concessions on CO2 emissions, then you must grant it for all cars up to 1170 kgs, which is the industry average. Granting CO2 reduction credits to ICE vehicles only based on weight and without the CO2 reduction measures will contradict the purpose and the intention of corporate average fuel efficiency norms, which is to increase and improve the emission norms, control the emissions by vehicles, and also give better fuel efficiency to consumers. They've also gone on to say that the GST has already defined what the small cars are under 1200 cc, and if you now go ahead and create another subcategory as a result of the CAFE norms, then you would be confusing the industry and also impacting investments in supply chains for the future. Vehicle weights have been increasing according to the industry because of safety regulations, and there should be no specific benefits to just one OEM. If there is any benefit, it should be for all.
Parikshit, thank you for that update there. Let us also now listen to what Rajesh Jejurikar, the Executive Director and CEO of Mahindra & Mahindra, had to say about the CAFE norms to CNBC TV18.
Here the first question is what are going to be those norms, and right now that's at a draft stage.
Yeah.
So, there are multiple scenarios that can play out based on what finally comes through as the draft norms. So what we have to do as an OEM is really prepare ourselves for multiple scenarios, and that's what we're doing. And we believe based on the SIAM, the primary view of the SIAM is to stay with the December 2024 draft that was done. There is a different version of a draft now, and the government is in the process of reconciling all the feedback on that. And we would prepare ourselves to meet the CAFE norms based on whatever scenario plays out.
Take a short break. More news and updates follow on the other side. Get you more updates on IEX as well. Welcome back. Now, in a fallout of the deadly shooting of 2 U.S. National Guards near the White House, U.S. President Donald Trump has warned of a stricter immigration policy and has threatened to permanently pause migration from all third world countries. Parikshit is joining in to tell us more. Parikshit.
Well, yes, this is a very strong post from President Donald Trump, who said he's going to pause migration from all third countries. And this is to ensure that benefits for non-citizens come to an end, and there's a major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations. So it'll take some time for diplomats of the United States around the world, for other nations to understand what this really means. Is he talking only about illegal trafficking of citizens into the United States, illegal border crossing? Does he want to clamp down on legal forms of migration? For example, work visas, travel and tourism, students. What does Donald Trump mean? Nobody understands that right now. But what we're told, that usually whenever President Trump tweets or puts out a post on X on any changes around travel or visas, then it takes a day or two for the White House or the US State Department to issue a guidance to US embassies, missions and consulates all around the world. So similarly in this case, yes, he's given an intent on social media, but the guidelines are likely to follow in the next few days. For the moment, the visa processing at US missions around the world, we are told and given to understand, is being processed and is taking place normally as before. Any changes would take some time to get communicated. It may be through an executive order, it may be through directions from the State Department. But just for context, tackling illegal entry of people into the United States has been a priority for this administration. From the start of the year, over 2,700 Indians, approximately 2,080, have been deported from the United States. These were people who were living illegally. The border crossings, we are told, of Indians being caught crossing the border into America, this is at a 4-year low. And this continues to be a major area of cooperation between India and the United States. So clearly, what President Trump has said will worry a lot of governments, and India too will engage with the US.
Parikshit, thank you for that update. And since that post from Donald Trump on Truth Social, the Nifty IT index saw some bit of profit booking, but not alarmingly. It's still in the red, currently trading around the flat line as we speak. Take a short break. More news and updates on the other side. Welcome back. Now, the death toll in the most deadliest fire Hong Kong has witnessed in nearly 80 years has now climbed to 94, with hundreds still missing. The Hong Kong police have arrested 2 directors and an engineering consultant of a firm contracted to perform maintenance on buildings on suspicion of manslaughter for using unsafe materials. While firefighters have mostly contained the blaze, which was raging for more than 24 hours, families continue to line up to identify their loved ones. Take a leave on this edition of Business Lunch. From me and the team, thank you so much for watching. Midcap Radar takes over the action from the other side.